What's going on, LEGO Maniacs, and Happy New Year, and welcome back to a brand new video. I am ZacATK. I hope you all had a very, very happy New Year and a very, very happy and Merry Christmas. So, lots of LEGO news has dropped, and the main focus is the new LEGO Smart Brick technology that was revealed at Las Vegas CES. And I have a lot of mixed feelings about these new sets, and let me just go ahead and tell you that I'm going to try my best in this video to be very as unbiased as I can and to try and give these smart bricks a chance, as I just don't see how they're going to succeed, especially with how expensive these sets are and also how, well, not good looking these sets are. I don't want to say the sets are ugly, but they're not really good looking either. But anyways, if you're excited to see all the latest and greatest that LEGO has to offer in their next and newest bout with entering the realm of technology with the LEGO brick, comment, like, subscribe, and let me know in the comment section down below, will you be picking up any of these smart brick sets? Without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at these LEGO Star Wars sets with smart brick technology included. Okay, so let's take a look at the first handful of smart minifigures here, and we have Luke and Darth Vader. And what's interesting about these, they have a copyright of 2022, which makes me wonder, have they been working on this for nearly 4 years trying to get this right? So my understanding of how this technology is supposed to work, these minifigures are supposed to have some form of chip in them that respond to radio waves, something similar to NFC, if I would imagine. NFC standing for near field communication. And so on the back of them here, you have these icons here that may be readable, like LEGO QR codes, I guess you could say, or just something that the chip is maybe right there. That way they can tell you, hey, this is where you can point the minifigure. And there's a whole load of documentation on LEGO's website if you want to read up on all of this, just to get your facts straight and to see what all is entailed for this. So just a kind of an example here, you would put the smart brick up there in this hub, and it has a little sensor that would read like, oh, hey, this is some type of blaster or canister, and there should be an action that you press on this turret in order for the smart brick to activate. And so here are some sets here, which is pretty interesting. We have set 75427, the Throne Room Duel and A-Wing. Why there's an A-Wing and why there's a turret in the set, I have no idea. I believe this set is going to be retailing for well over $100. And then you have Luke's X-Wing, set number 75423. This one, I believe, is $100, and this Throne Duel, I believe, is $140. I'll put the correct prices on the screen that way you can see. But this is really interesting. I like this setup, and I think this is pretty neat. You do have the little tile here on the bottom where you'd put the smart bricks within the duel, and we'll get into the actual sound quality here in a minute in these minifigures. But it's really interesting for why include this. I mean, the actual throne room looks nice. It's much more scaled down. We've had 3 thrones now in what feels like the last 3 years, 4 years. And it's really interesting. The X-Wing just looks absolutely awful. It's very crammed and squished, and it does come with a lot of ground support equipment, and all these sets are going to come with a charger to wirelessly charge your smart bricks, which is probably part of the reason why the price is raised so much. And just to give you an idea of where the smart brick is going to go, and what's curious for me is, are these smart bricks going to be exclusive to these sets, or could you, say, for example, take your smart brick from your Emperor's Throne Room Duel and put it in your X-Wing, and vice versa, or any other LEGO Star Wars smart brick? Is it purely just to exclusive to the set, or does it recognize these tiles and play these actions based upon the tiles that are loaded in? So just more information I'm sure that they'll talk about here in a moment. But the next up, we have the Darth Vader's TIE Fighter, which is set number 75421 with 473 pieces, and I believe that's going to be retailing for $80. It looks okay, but again, it doesn't look the greatest, and it does have an open back where you have to press a button in order for certain actions to occur. So I'm not sure what they're going to be doing with this. And here's just some lifestyle images of these sets. And like from the front, the TIE Advance, Darth Vader's TIE Advance looks phenomenal. But the back of it is open. I don't like that. I think that looks very goofy. And the one thing that I do want to talk about toward the end, or we're going to look at the actual reveal videos that Beyond the Brick posted, is the sound quality. And I'm gonna post a clip in this video without my narration on top of it. That way you can, and with the audio levels increased, that way you can hear just how potentially bad these smart bricks sound. And to give Lego some credit here, you're jamming a lot of tech inside of essentially what is a 2x4 brick and one plate high. So props for them for being able to jam all of that tech in there. And there's a good look at the image right there of 2 smart bricks charging on this wireless QR or this wireless QI charging pad. I am very curious if down the road, if someone's going to be able to figure out how to reprogram these smart bricks. I think that'd be something down the road that I think Lego should definitely invite the ability for people to, to really expand their play, and that is the ability to program your own sound effects in your smart bricks. The smart bricks do have light sensors in them. That way they can detect what tile they are looking at, and it does appear that they do have the ability to interact with each other to announce when they're being fired upon, kind of like with laser tag. That's the gist that I got from watching a handful of the videos, especially the long stream from the CES event. And Dave Filoni was there. They were talking about the history of Lego Star Wars and just how far it has come. And it's really interesting that, on a bit of side news, that Dave Filoni is now going to be the head of Lucasfilm, which I can only hope that he will undo all of the atrocities that Kathleen Kennedy has done in the last decade. You're our only hope, Dave Filoni. Your only hope. And which I think it's pretty cool that R2 and C-3PO there. I doubt it was Anthony Daniels there, but it would have been cool if he was there. And just some video footage they played of Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker dueling each other in the throne room, which is pretty neat. I don't like how the minifigures have the QR codes in the back of them. And just this lady here, she's talking about all the cool things that these bricks can do and how they can interact and how they can detect color and all that, which is pretty neat. They seem to be pretty stoked about this, pretty hyped about this. They've had a ton of promo packages going around with this new venture into the smart brick realm, and they're calling it the Galaxy Plays Back, the smart way to play. And there also have been a handful of other sets that have been revealed in the end leaks and stuff like that. There's the Millennium Falcon, and there's also a Cantina set, which is pretty interesting. Here's a look at the new R2-D2 minifigure here. So the head can actually spin, which is pretty nice. That is a very welcome addition on the for R2-D2. That's something that I've always wanted R2-D2 to be able to do. But check this out. This tile pops off in the back here, and he has 2 studs in the back. So he has essentially the ability to have parts be attached to him in the back, which is kind of interesting. I just don't understand how they couldn't fit whatever chip this is in his usual rounded body, and they could have made a new mold up top here for this one stud here for his head to spin. So here I have a hands-on video, courtesy of Beyond the Brick, for these gentlemen here who are going to be demoing the X-Wing and the Darth Vader's TIE Fighter. Let's go ahead and check this out and see what they have going on here.
Shake the brick. Yes, let's bring the X-Wing to life. So you put it down there. Or the other way around. Yeah.
That?
Yeah. Yeah, all good. You can pick it up and you can now fly it around.
Barrel roll?
Yeah. So hopefully you can sense that the audio is actually reacting.
Yes.
The flying sounds are reacting to how you move.
Nosedive?
Did some flying with TIE Fighter.
Okay, and since you are there and you have your thumb almost the right place, you can push that button.
Oh. Authentic firing effect?
Yeah.
Whoa.
So that's really interesting that it has these sound effects, which I don't think these sound effects sound all that great. And as you can see here, they have these tiles here that whenever he's pressing the button here, these little readers on the side are reading, oh, hey, I'm being pushed forward, so I better go ahead and do these sound effects, which is pretty neat. I don't understand why this couldn't have been covered up unless this sensor is so pitiful's not the word, but it needs light. And so they couldn't cover this up. So I can understand maybe why this is a light needed sensor to where it could see these. I don't know why they couldn't have covered this up, but that's probably why, if I had to guess. The sound effects do not sound good, especially the lasers do not sound good, and the actual sound effects of the X-Wing flying, those are not good sound effects for the X-Wing and the firing of the laser cannons.
But of course, we don't even have a pilot yet, so let's bring it in. I'll just see if we can bring in Luke in the front seat. Yeah, hello, Luke. So we'll have Luke now.
So whenever they put Luke in there, he did this ADDD. That's what it sounded like to me, but it's not English. I would have loved if they could have gotten Mark Hamill going.
Standing by. Red 5 standing by.
You know, but they got this noise or gibberish. I'm not sure. You know, in the Lego Star Wars games on the GBA, it was always just you know, just those sound effects. It didn't make any sense. It was just these short little jump cuts of just different things. So I'm really curious why they went this route. And it could be that all of that technology that is jam-packed inside of that little 2x4 brick, that they probably just couldn't fit a chip big enough to house that quality of sound and that library of sound effects. For the smart brick, this is where I feel like Lego really dropped the ball. If you really want to be able to incorporate this technology inside of your Lego builds, one, your Lego builds need to be very, very fleshed out. They need to be bigger. And for me, I almost would like to buy this set just to be able to, just for the smart brick, just be able to figure out to get the smart brick technology and put it in the previous X-Wing to see if I couldn't finagle it inside that, because I feel like that X-Wing has a whole lot more room to accommodate these things. Now, again, I could be onto something here with the amount of light being needed in order for those readers to read those colors of tiles. I'm not exactly 100% sure if that's correct or not. I'm just speculating. Secondly, I feel like, and you know, obviously Lego has probably mass-produced hundreds of thousands of these smart bricks. Hopefully not, because that's going to be a lot of electronic waste. Because I hate to be the downer here, the David Downer here, but there's a good chance it's going to flop. And trust me, I want Lego to succeed because this is my favorite hobby, and I would love for Lego to really think about this. So if yes, a 2x4 brick looks very marketable. You can hold it in your hand. You know, it's one of Lego's most marketable items, something that people always know what a Lego brick is. So I feel like if Lego really wanted to make this work, they could have maybe done a very, very unique brick where maybe make it a 2x6. Obviously, for marketing, they want to be able to hold it in their hands like this for a 2x4 brick, and I get that. And honestly, if you could have squeezed a little bit more, you could have made it a brick and 2 plate stick, you know, just to be able to hold maybe a little bit more fluff in there for the technology and all that. And maybe the battery is just eating up so much space, and maybe you need to take a smaller battery. I don't know. The LED lights, you know, nice touch. That's not really taking up a lot of room. And I feel like that maybe we're not quite there yet for technology's sake, for incorporating tech into something so small. It's a small form factor, but I digress. Let's go ahead and continue watching the video and see what else they got going on.
Yeah. And then maybe you can put in R2-D2 this way down. Yeah. Yeah, he's there.
Authentic R2-D2 sounds.
Yeah.
That is not authentic R2-D2 sound. That was pitiful. For R2D2, I want to be able to hear, his beeping and his yelling and his cursing in his own little language. And that sounded awful. And of course, this is just a video of the demo and whatnot. So anyways, let's go ahead and continue.
Okay, so you're ready to go on your adventure, and so while you're getting ready, of course, we are going to enter an epic battle. So of course we would need to bring our TIE Advance to life as well. I would just do it.
So I imagine there's some type of gyroscope in there that you shake. He's shaking it to activate it or to turn it on. So I'm sure that was their way of avoiding using a switch, which, they still have the studs on top. So they could have easily turned one of those studs into a button. The shaking is cool. I do like the shaking, but I feel like if going back to the whole idea of cramp for space technology, I'm not sure if a gyro or a switch would be the way to go.
Here, so now I'll just put our new smart Darth Vader into the front. Let's see. Oh,
Got the theme going.
Okay, so when you put in Darth Vader.
Okay, so the theme, 8-bit. I'm getting old school 8-bit Game Boy audio there, and honestly that sounds worse than Game Boy music and sound effects. That doesn't sound good, and that may be the best they can do.
Once in a while you'll get the Imperial March just to get the vibe going. So now you can fly this one, okay, and there you are just pulling back the red trigger there for shooting. Oh, try again. So you would see you were actually able to shoot me.
Doing some damage.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So that is really cool that they can interact with each other via, I'm guessing, a laser or some type of infrared. It's not Bluetooth, NFC, some type of communication where they can communicate through radio waves of some kind in order for them to interact with each other. The Darth Vader's TIE sounded better for the cannons, but it's not quite. It's better than what the X-Wing has, but the sound effects for the TIE Fighter somewhat already sound slightly better.
So now we can actually start the fight. Okay, so now, getting going. That's pretty cool.
Oh, you got me.
Okay. So now you hit me several times. I'm getting
Critical damage?
critical damage. Yes.
So the dude from Beyond the Brick is having a blast, and the dude from Lego is like, no, you have to point it this way. It's not going to work if you don't point it any other way. He's just going right at it, and dude from Beyond the Brick is doing exactly what I would do, just big kid art. That's funny. That's awesome.
Stone one more time. Let's see. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I had the big hit here.
Trying to get fancy with it.
No, it's all good. So this is designed in a way, so maybe I can just show you a bit of a thing behind the scenes here. So if I'm holding the X-Wing still, he will hit me. You can try again. So you see? But if I'm moving around and flying actively, I'm not getting hit. So yeah, I'm dodging back.
So he is dodging. So there's some form of like laser tag stuff going on in these smart bricks, which I think is pretty neat. The back of Darth Vader's TIE being open, it's kind of a deal breaker for me, but I'm sure someone down the line will make a mod for this to where maybe it's bigger, because it is both the X-Wing and the TIE Fighter look pretty puny in my opinion. The TIE Fighter obviously looking light years better than the X-Wing, but somewhere down the line when these sets come out, someone inevitably is going to make these sets look much better. There was one more video I want to show you guys, and that was the short of the deep that they posted for the Cantina. And this one I am pretty disappointed with, as I thought that maybe this would have been on point with the Cantina theme, but it unfortunately is not.
The famous scene. So let me try to bring it up.
So they have this little rocker mechanism here, which I feel like could have gone in the back.
Now,
because this looks really ugly to be up front
moving
here.
the handle.
It takes away from the scene here.
So again, if I slow down, so I can actually control the tempo of the music, how fast I do it. And of course, maybe Luke is a bit sad.
So, golden opportunity there, absolutely squandered. The Cantina theme could have been played, and the speakers there, obviously there's a lot of background noise with people talking back there, but it was able to pick up the plastic creaking and cranking against each other and moving, and it just does not sound good. I really, golden opportunity there missed. You know, the speakers are a huge thing, because if you want people to feel that nostalgic, if you want the kids to really be into that, and I don't have the best supersonic hearing, but I think I could hear a gnat fart from the other room and hear it, but that just did not seem like a something that would make me really get into it and want to rock the thing back and forth just to make these guys move. I do like the minifigures, and I definitely would like to pick up this set just for the minifigures, but I don't know, man.
Because he's been standing there, he wants to go on stage, right? So let's get him up there. Yeah. So we are ready. Yeah, the mic is on. Let's see if he's. Yeah. So he's definitely singing.
So the gibberish, the bebop, it honestly sounds like a gonk droid singing or trying to sing. And
I will keep it as a little bit food for thought. What happens if Darth Vader would go up there? We'll wait and see. But again, this is a system, right? So that means that all smart minifigures would react when they come.
So Greedo is in the set, so I guess that's something they're gonna would show later when they add all this information onto their website, which hopefully will be soon. I don't foresee this doing too well, and for me, there's a market for the Lego community here that I think is going to try and mod these smart bricks. People who are tinkerers, tech tinkerers especially, who are going to try and figure out how to communicate with these smart bricks, how to change the sound patterns, sound effects and whatnot, and maybe even people may even try and develop their own smart bricks using an Arduino or something like that, to where it could read these tags and maybe reprogram these tags to recognize and play different sounds that are of higher quality. I don't think this is going to do good, and the sad thing is that this will be Lego's another adventure into incorporating technology with Lego, and there's certain things I feel like have merit, like the thrusters and different things that are just specific to a set, like a car squealing out and stuff like that, or a rocket ship, or if you really wanted to add a smart brick that I think would add a bit more value to your set, as opposed to adding something where like this, where it's relying upon several other elements for it to function. Just give us a box with a decent speaker, maybe some lights and some translucent tubes that we can, new pieces that would be translucent, and give us, lasers that can shoot out of these translucent Lego tubes, and sound effects, decent actual sound effects. And even if you wanted to get a little lazy here, have them cycle 3 different sound effects, have them cycle the blasters, or, or 3, give us 3 buttons to push. Just give us 3 buttons to where we can just say, hey, I want to make a flying noise. I want to make a laser noise. I want to make, Darth Vader's breathing, or I want to hear R2-D2 scream. Give us something like this. To me, this is just crazy overkill. And, I get the most recent kids are the iPad generation, but this whole obsession of incorporating technology into toys, especially Lego, which Lego's greatest charm has always been use your imagination to make the play that you want to happen. And and I get it. I'm a grown man. I'm an adult. I shouldn't be speaking for kids, but adding technology to toys just makes kids more lazy, in my opinion. And for me, you know, I track myself to being a big kid. I like I like this idea, but I feel like it's being poorly executed, and I feel like that it's lackluster. It is just very lackluster. Anyways, I would love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below, what you think of the introduction of smart brick technology into LEGO Star Wars. Of course, there are going to be other sets in which smart bricks are going to be incorporated. Do you think this is going to bust? Do you think this is going to take off? Or do you think this is going to be very, very mediocre to where LEGO's going to be like, we'll give it maybe 1 or 2 more years and then slowly retire these sets and go back to the way how things were? I'll let know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure and smash like and subscribe for more videos. I post videos every week. And to the friends, I hope y'all have a great rest of your week. Be sure and follow me on my social media. Links for all the things in the description box below. Until then, friends, keep building, comment, like, subscribe like I said before, and I'll see you in the next video.